Hello, everyone. To make this demo fun and get everyone's creative juices flowing, let's start with a poem on phishing I wrote for you guys. Here we go. It's not my problem if my customer gets phished, said a banker named Jake. How can we be responsible for a customer's mistake? We provide them so many tips and videos and more. Is it our fault that they're just ignored? Well, Jake, when your customer is cheated, they get frantic. They call, they write, they post on social media in panic. Though not your fault, your brand does take a beating as new customers stop their account openings. There are other invisible costs for you as well. As customers trust and engage less with your emails, they don't click on offers that might help them and you. When they miss important messages, they cost you by calling customer support too. Jake, this goes beyond just a matter of profit and loss. It's a matter of societal good and its costs. When customers don't get cheated and save money and time, we all prosper. And now I'm all out of rhymes. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We have designed Binbox to kill phishing, to help Jake, our imaginary banker, all of you and your customers, so they get cheated less, so they trust and engage more with your content. Let me show you how. We're going to demo Binbox with just command line tools. I can almost hear everyone in the audience groaning, but bear with me. You will see the raw power and stark beauty of the Binbox engine. And don't worry, it's super simple. In this blue window, we're going to demo the actions of a user, Bob. In this green window, we're going to demo a bank. And finally, in this last window, we're going to demo a hacker. In each screen, just focus on what we highlight. Let's start with addressing. Addresses in Binbox can be created instantly at the click of a button. Again, just focus on what we highlight. As you can see, addresses are just globally unique IDs. Every address has crypto keys for end-to-end encryption. Now, these are all the addresses that are owned by Bob. In fact, Binbox users can have an unlimited number of addresses, and we'll see why this is useful shortly. Now, let's act as Bob's bank. Bob has provided his bank with his Binbox addresses, so the bank can easily send Bob messages, like so. In the highlighted to list, you can see that Bob has given his bank 3 addresses, not just one. The bank must specify all 3 addresses in order to reach Bob, and this is unique. Specifying multiple addresses proves there's a relationship between the bank and Bob. Without this relationship, it is mathematically very, very hard to figure out the address combinations that belong to a user. Now, let's see this message in Bob's inbox. There we go. We can see that the message has come from Awesome Bank. It has all the usual messaging features, subject, attachments, content types. This can be HTML content, by the way, with images and links and so on. Now, Bob and Jake are happy, no fear of phishing, and there's greater trust and engagement with this message. Happiness reigns. Okay, now let's act as a hacker in this window. The hacker sends messages to a set of Binbox addresses that they have somehow gotten. Now take a look at this address to which the hacker has sent a message, which we know belongs to Bob. But the hacker is stopped immediately with an error message that says, hey, if all you know about the recipient is the single address, that doesn't prove you have a relationship with the recipient. You could have bought this address, stolen it, or guessed it. Prove your relationship. Try again. Now, what happens if the hacker somehow figures out the address combinations? Okay, let's see what happens. Let's go ahead and send a message again. Now, this time, the hacker has gotten a hold of Bob's address combination, and perhaps he's stolen it, and he sent a message there. Now, Bob should not get this message if Binbox defenses work correctly. Let's keep our fingers crossed and check Bob's messages now. Awesome, no message from the hacker. But we need to understand why. Why is it that when the bank sent the message to these 3 addresses, it reached Bob, but when the hacker does it, it doesn't show up? So let's look in detail at one of the addresses used by the hacker to reach Bob. So that's the address we're going to focus on. Let's get its details. Okay. Now, if you look at the constraint associated with the address, it says that this address can only be used by Awesome Bank, no one else. The hacker cannot use this address. And the hacker cannot pretend to be the bank because all messages are cryptographically signed and signatures are verified. This is why the hacker's message is stopped. Now, this is pretty mind blowing because Bob can give one set of addresses to Wells Fargo, another to Fidelity Investments, to Robinhood, to his employer, to the government agencies that they do business with. We call this sender specific addresses, and this is unique to Binbox. Now you can appreciate why Binbox allows users to have an unlimited number of addresses. Okay, we are now going to shift gears. Binbox is rich with features beyond just anti-phishing. Let's take a look at one super exciting feature. Today, when the bank wants to send Bob an important tax document, say, they send him a message saying, your important document is waiting for you at our message center. Bob then has to perform 4 actions. 1, view this notification. 2, log into the site. 3, go to the messaging center. And finally, 4, view the all-important document. With Binbox, we can make this a one-step process with greater security as well. We call this delivery on tap. It's the delivery of a message exactly when a user taps on it. Let me show you. Let's go ahead and send a message. There we go. We sent it to Bob. Let me explain delivery on tap. Normally, when you send a message, content is included in the message. With delivery on tap, no content is included in the message. Let me repeat that. No content is included in the message. Only an empty message has been sent at this time. So how does the content get delivered then? Let's take a look at Bob's messages now. There we go. See, Bob just tapped on the message and got the entire message in one step, attachments and all. But let me explain what's going on behind the scenes. When Bob taps to open the message, Binbox servers fetch encrypted content in real time directly from Awesome Bank servers and deliver it to Bob. All Bob did was tap the message and whoosh, the content just shows up in one easy, secure step. Best of all, from the bank perspective, no content leaves their server unless the user actually opens the message. And this can be really useful for tracking, compliance, etc. Only Bob can view this encrypted content, and cryptographic signatures verify that it's indeed the bank and Bob at either end of this message. How cool is that? Okay, let me wrap up now. Binbox is a powerful secure messaging app that kills phishing. I showed you just how unique and effective our algorithms are. We do not rely just on content or sender analysis like others. Binbox is API driven. It has lots more amazing features, completely reimagines addressing, message delivery, message storage, and more. Love to talk to you guys if you're interested in those topics. And now I will end with one final verse of my poem that I started with. Jake, let's work together to defeat this phishing blight. Let's give your unarmed customers a powerful weapon in this fight. I hope you had fun and learned something useful too about Arnexa Binbox and what it can do for your customers and you. Thank you.
Wow, that was really terrific. I have a couple of questions for you, and I apologize. I didn't put them into a poem. I didn't know that's what we were going to be doing here, but let's go ahead and get to it with the minute that we've got left. So the first question is a simple one. How easy is it for a bank to integrate Binbox?
Well, super easy. You know, messages can be sent easily using our API, and messages can also be received easily. So in the Binbox app provided by my company, or banks can embed Binbox right inside their own apps using our APIs.
Sounds straightforward enough. So what's the advantage of embedding Binbox inside the bank app?
A few reasons. First, there's no reason for a bank customer to install yet another app, right? They already trust the bank app. Second, the bank can drive greater engagement within its own apps. And third, it makes it easier to integrate messaging with partners.
Okay, last question before we're out of time. Who are your customers?
Well, we're currently focused on governments and financial institutions, credit unions, wealth management, insurance companies, fintechs, banks, because it's their messages that are most susceptible to phishing. But anybody who's phished is a good candidate for us to work with.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.